All right, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. I know sometimes I probably wait too long for these ads to start, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know in chat if the ads are still rolling, and I'll wait a few more minutes. But we are going to be trying to finish up NemphaVT's OC that they submitted for the art raffle, and it's been a blast so far. It's been really fun to try to get back to my anime art style roots here. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get started here. That way, you guys don't have to wait too long on me, and even if ads are rolling, it'll just pop in and we can make some progress. So. All right, so this is what we had from the last time here. I did desaturate the hair a little bit, and I also added the colors to the lines on the hair, so looks a little bit better. Think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do these gold parts here next. So let's do this. And again, I'm a little gunky from freaking allergies, so sorry. So I kind of like when I do gold, I like to do like a kind of like a darker brown with the shadowing on it because it's kind of does that when with actual gold, it has like a really like uh, kind of like a harsh contrast. So let me go ahead and let's do this. Man, I love the new Sleep Token music. It's so good. I'm just a Sleep Token fanboy in general, so. And let's see, let's do some like kind of squiggle effects here and there. I don't want to overdo it though. Trying to kind of keep in mind the shading that we also did on the rest of the sleeve here, so it's not too like jarring. Try to keep it smooth. Actually do some squiggles by cutting some of it out as well. it's going to be quite a bit darker over here because there's less light hitting. Oh, is that starting to go over the sleeve? Oh. Let me clean some of this up because I forgot that the way I have the layers organized that it's gonna get onto the actual sleeve part. We don't want that. Like a little overlap of color every now and then is alright, but I don't really want brown on the sleeve. Actually do like a little bit of a, I think maybe a little bit of a separation here would probably be good. Hey Pensy, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day so far. Try to make this a little cooler, but a little bit more kind of squiggle. Not too bad. I mean, we've just been doing like a little bit at a time, because we don't have to be out till the 20th of this month, so we're just kind of just packing like a few boxes here and there, and like moving stuff over. Definitely looking forward to. So we're gonna be living with Demon Lord Havoc's sister. So that's gonna be cool. Of course, we're gonna be like streaming together because I did her VTuber model. So that's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a good time in general. I really like her sister and her husband, so. And Vegeta's gonna have other cats to play with. Whether that's something that he's gonna enjoy or not, I have no idea. But we're gonna find out. He's been so spoiled all by himself. Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. He'll probably just he'll probably just hide in our room for like a while till like he starts like interacting with them. That's my guess of what's gonna go down. I mean, either way, that our move there is really only temporary till we can get enough funds to move out of the U.S. So, or we have to find somewhere that it's like relatively easy to move to, especially like with a cat. So, I think he'll be okay for the time being. I mean, he's like my conjoined twin already. Like he follows me like pretty much everywhere, so I'm sure he'll just hang out with me mostly. So if he really wants relief, he can just hang out with me. Oh yeah, he is a major daddy's boy for sure. Let's see. What we'll do is we'll fill this and then we'll carve away some shine. I wouldn't say I'm an expert on doing like metal textures, but I do enjoy doing them. They are fun. It's like really high like contrast stuff. So, and I kind of laid the groundwork already with my lines here. So, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think this is the style I'm gonna start going back to. I was trying to go like learn some more things like with like semi-realism, but I really had the most fun with like anime stuff. So I think I'm gonna try to like kind of revive that style, and that's why it's like another good thing to go back and like look at your older artwork. Like when I went back and look at those Honkai Star Rail fan arts I did, I was like, man, I really like this style. Why did I stop doing this? So yeah, and I think that'll help me with like the web comic too, is to like get back more into that like anime groove. I'm still gonna take some of the things that I learned from like the practicing the semi-realism, but kind of apply it to the anime stuff. Plus, the anime style doesn't take as long, which is good. Like I can get more artwork done this way, and more output is just gonna help me in general. Especially like since I have so many projects that I want to get done and I want to work on. And like the nice thing about like the anime style too is like I don't have to spend forever like rendering it. It still looks like pretty good. So that's like my biggest issue, especially when it comes to like streaming or like my social media stuff is like I'm spending way too much time like over rendering when majority of the time doing something that's like less detailed is going to actually get more like attention and still look really nice. So like when you post a sketch and it gets like a couple hundred likes, and then you post like something that like you took a bunch of time on and it gets like 10 likes. Yeah. That's real. Not that I super care about likes, but I definitely do want to like start reaching enough people that I can really like grow, get my name out there. So people are like, "Huh? Who the hell's Art Aniki? I've never heard of him." Oops. And I was mentioning this before in the other stream. Like a lot of the professional artists that I like, I noticed that they don't really focus so much on like perfection. Um, oftentimes the imperfections in their art actually makes it look better. Because it's looser and it's more like natural, and you just kind of go with the flow. Yeah, I feel like Sam Does Art is like a probably the best example of that. Like, if you watch his like process in like the actual videos, like it's extremely loose and sketchy, but the final result looks great because for the most part it's going to be looked at on like like a phone or like from a distance. So doesn't really need to be super rendered, but the ones where he does take time and like really render it out, of course, are amazing. But he puts those out far less than he does like his regular art. So I'm gonna put some extra lines, I think, in these like squiggle spots too. I'll erase away a little bit. I think that'll look good. Have you been getting any more commissions? Oh, I said, have you been getting any more commissions lately? Oh, well, it'll pick up soon. If I get into VGen, I was planning on, if I get any codes that I can give away, I was gonna give them to you guys, all the people that have been like supporting me, so we can all be successful. I mean, especially since like my whole streaming in my platform is going to be used for supporting, other artists in their journey and encouraging them. So if I can provide a way to help with that, I will. In a heartbeat. You know what's funny too is like I still haven't logged into I still haven't logged into Cash App to get the money for the commission that I did for you yet. I just completely forgot about it because I'm so used to just chilling with you like on stream. Man, my hands are a little shaky because I am waiting for my thyroid medicine to show up. I totally forgot to order it, so I'm like out of it right now, which really sucks. But it like, kind of like affects my affects a good amount of stuff if I don't have it. So I'm like, ugh. Alright, I think that's all the gold parts. Pretty sure. So we're gonna bring that down. Duplicate. Linear burn. Now I can do the like airbrush parts. So let's do this. Oops, and I gotta remember these down here. There we go. And now we can do the lighting. Let's get the harsh shadows, the hard highlights going here. I love like rendering like metal parts. So fun. I mean, I know technically some of this isn't like metal on the outfit, but it could still have that like kind of like trim to it, like that foil. And I want to make sure I save. Because I'd be sad if I started to lose progress here. It's taken from me. I'm really hoping when I move into her sister's place that the pollen won't be quite as bad over there. That way it won't be all gunky and harsh. Let's do some high contrast here. And down here. Kind of following the light a little bit. Again, you know, I'm not using like a reference or anything, so that might not be 100% accurate, but it's fine. Yeah, I really like this style. I'm definitely gonna start just using this again. It's a lot more fun. Oops. It's actually this a little bit here. And make sure I zoom out so I don't get like too crazy with detail here. Speaking of Linkin Park, so the new Linkin Park lineup is kind of growing on me a little bit. Like, I still don't think it's as good as with Chester, of course, but I'm starting to dig it again. The more I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, this is still pretty good. It's definitely like a different iteration of the band for sure. I was definitely like very like skeptical, of course, of it. Like when they first announced that they had found like a new singer, and that they were just going to continue on as like Linkin Park. But I've come around to it. I like it. I think the worst part about it is like just listening to the lyrics with Chester, you could tell that, dude was not okay. And like, I don't know how that went like, so unnoticed basically that he was like, serious about like the lyrics and stuff. So, but of course, I don't really know the ins and out of that whole personal situation. So, all I know is if I had a friend that was, like talking like that, I would make sure I kept like major tabs on them. Like, hey, how are you doing today? I know things are rough. I know things can get, feel like they are like, you know, suffocating you, but, I'm here for you, that kind of thing. And then on the opposite hand, I've had friends that were talking like that, but it was quite obvious that they were just just using it for like attention, and that's not even like like shaming anybody or anything. It was just I tried to help them, and then I realized that it was all just to be a brat basically. So it's like, come on, man. Like, don't have me waste my time and energy on somebody who doesn't actually need it. It's like that cry wolf situation. Hey, Nempha. Let me save too, since I keep forgetting to put that. Doing the gold parts of the outfit. I also so I desaturated the hair a little bit. Like it was a little too like orange, and I put the colors over the lines on the hair. So and on the body down here. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna do my best. Of course, like the skin isn't gonna be like like shiny like it's made out of metal, because you want to make sure that like the material like separation makes sense. I think that's a lot of things that people struggle with when it comes to like anime style stuff is differentiating the types of like material, and a lot of it has to do with like some of it needs to be glossy, some of it needs to be matte, um, some of it needs like soft like shadowing versus like the harder stuff. It's kind of hard to do without like you just gotta kind of like actually look at the materials like realistically first, and then you know then implement the stylization from there. Not that I'm an expert on this, but like I love shiny glowy stuff, and I want to put it on everything, but it isn't appropriate for everything. So, oh man, yeah, like coloring anything for me is my favorite part of doing like the images. I think my least favorite part is doing flats. It's just so tedious and just like very boring. Alrighty, so let's see. Let's bring that down and then duplicate. Luckily, your character has spots where there's a lot of opportunities for cool glow, especially with this lighting that I'm rolling with here. Oops, I forgot to. Let's do some blur on this. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it depends on what kind of image I'm doing. Like, I had fun with the lines on this, but when I was doing like the more semi-realism, I found that lines were kind of just like not as necessary. It was more like values and stuff like that. So, all right, let's do. Before I forget, I'm gonna do this like overlay layer with the orangey glow. And I really wish that they would, like I said, just make this a feature in Clip Studio Paint. I'm definitely glad I'm getting like practice with this, doing like a warmer color scheme. I always end up using like blues and purples and magentas and things like that. So being able to actually use like, a lot of like warmer colors is nice. All right, I actually have a gradient mat specifically for gold. Let me find that. It's one of these ones that's in like a language I don't read. So I just gotta kind of click through them one by one. There it is. See how it looks with maybe pin light. I think pin light looks nice. Let's try soft light, see how that looks. Soft light looks pretty good too. I think I kind of like pin light because it gives more of like the. Kind of looks a little bit more like gold. I think we'll roll with that. Oops, not level correction. I want tone curve. And you do want a decent amount of contrast with things that are metal, but of course I don't want to blow out the details. I don't know. I think I might have already done a pretty good job here. I need to bring some lightness back up. That's probably good. I might desaturate it a little bit. That's probably good. Merge that together. Duplicate. Let's see if we can get this to work. It's doing it all over the whole thing. Alright. I'll figure that out later. Because I do want to add some texture to some parts of it, again, to make sure that we have like a difference between the materials. That way it doesn't all just look smooth. Might turn that down even more to like 30. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then we can put it over the lines. Hard light. And we're gonna blur it a little bit. Duplicate. We'll do glow dodge. Probably do that like 30%. It's really subtle, but it definitely helps in the end. That way the lines actually have some like color to them. And it's using the exact same colors that I shaded it with, so that's a little trick I like to do where I just take, you know, the color layer, duplicate it, and throw it over the lines. I take the hard light layer and I blur it by like 20%, and then I copy that with like a 30% glow dodge, a 30% lighten, and then a 30% darken just to bring the line back so it doesn't disappear. Little tip. These are all effects, so I'm gonna make them red. Need some more organization here real quick. Alright, this, as much as I love this music, I think it's a little slow, a little sleepy for today, so we'll go back to our anime here, or Unamu. Alright, hell yeah. Making progress here. Let's see, I think what I'll do next is I'll do the skin. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in a folder and then clip it. Scan. Do this. Make sure I label these hard shadows. Gradient. And then lighting. All right. Hell yeah. So I gotta remember this is also the eye whites and the teeth, since it's a very similar color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the base color, I'm going to hue shift it a little bit this way and make it a little darker, less saturated. Alright, let's see. So I definitely need some shadow here from the hair. I wonder if I can get away with this since it's under. Yes, I can. Hell yeah. I don't have to like delete this stuff. Hell yeah. That makes things so much easier for me. Maybe this might be a little much. Not a lot of it's going to be showing because of the bangs here, so we'll do that. Go ahead and get the eye white area. Kind of do like that. A little bit thinner right there. And I like to do just a little bit under the eyelids here. Try not to go overboard with the shading because we're keeping it anime. Trying to keep it cell shaded. Yeah, we definitely want some of the hand here. Just a little bit of it kind of peeking through like that. Actually, we can. Oops. Maybe if I turn it this way. Alright, so we need some shadow from the hair here. Again, we're gonna keep this anime. I might give her like a little bit of like some blush or something around the lip area. So maybe cast shadow here, and also from this. Oops. Why are you not adding? What are you doing? Fine. I'll redo it. Oh my god. It's going all over the place. That covered a little bit more. Do some small shadow details here of the eyelashes. Oh, I was I was so focused I didn't even realize there were ads going. I'm sorry, guys. I missed my opportunity to take a break. It's all good though. Even though like Attack on Titan like is by far not my favorite anime slash manga, the music here is just nonstop bangers. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's good, but it started to get like really like political and like boring a little bit towards the latter half of it, and I really don't like Aaron. I think Aaron is my least favorite character in the whole thing. I know some people will probably like crucify me for that, be like, "Whoa, you don't like Aaron Yeager?" I'm like, "Dude, no, I actually don't." I don't like that they also took like Mikasa, who was a very powerful, strong female character, and made her like pine for like Aaron the whole time and blah 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 blah. I'm like, come on, man. Like she was so fucking cool, and then you nerf the shit out of her. Oh, he gave me a scarf once. Who the fuck cares? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I was just sad because, like I said, she was such a cool character up till that point. I was like, clearly she should be the main character. Aaron, who like what? He only killed like one Titan outside of his Titan form. Like, bruh. They're like, oh, you could use the 3D maneuver gear even though it was broken. It's like, yeah, but you didn't do much with that. I don't know. All right, what I'm doing here is I'm putting some of the like blood tone underneath, like around the outside of the shadows here. This will help. This helps bring like life to your characters. Like they actually have blood flowing through them. And I'll do like a little bit of kind of blush across here, which I'll probably emphasize a little bit more in a later step. Also on the shoulder area, which is totally like a non-safe for work technique. They have the blushing parts that don't normally blush, but you know what? I like it, so. I should probably use this style for like my non-safe for work stuff I start doing. How popular do you think that would be, guys? Like, will I become famous quickly? I sure hope so. Alright, it needs definitely needs something around the lips here. Oh yeah, yeah. He was a badass, like 100,000%. And I really liked the potato girl. I think her name is like Sasha or something like that. Come to the dark side, non-safe for work art. Yeah, yeah. I definitely need to. You know what? For this one, I think I'm gonna leave. Well, maybe I'll put a little bit of soft shadow. I don't want to put too much. So we'll kind of just do it maybe like over here, a little bit in here. So kind of give it a little bit of some shave. Maybe a little bit up here. That's probably good. I don't want to overdo it. And another thing I'm going to do is do this. I'm going to take, I think, a lighten brush and just kind of do this right in the center there. Maybe not. Oop, I'm doing that on the wrong freaking layer. Like a whole ass. How about overlay? No. Screen, maybe? Yeah, definitely lighten, because I'm trying not to, like, take away the fact that she has the darker skin tone. I want to make sure I maintain that. And then I'm going to put some actual cool colors, I think, in the shadow areas. Yeah, yeah, yep, for sure. We're gonna put a little bit of blue in some of this. I think I'm gonna put some of these other colors, like some red and stuff, in there too. You know, just so we have some of the actual colors here. And let's get some of the yellow here from the gold in there. Maybe a little bit here. You know, it gives the shadows some like variety. And now we can do the lighting, which I don't know if I want to use hard light. I might actually use an overlay for this. I think might be better for the skin, because the hard light might be a little too harsh. So I'm going to start with just kind of brushing in the area more where the light's going to hit. Let's get the soft parts of the lighting. Let's do some yellows closer to the edge of where the light is. Alright, now I can start doing the actual lighting. And I don't want to go like too crazy with this, so I'm just going to put like a couple spots. No. You're sick. I don't want you to be sick, Bensy. That sounds terrible. We're gonna put a little bit right here. Put a little bit around because we kind of want to emphasize the eyes. Oh no. No. That's not okay. You know, it's funny because like I almost stopped to get McDonald's for breakfast because I had to take Havoc to work this morning. And I was like, nah. So I stopped at Sheets instead, and I just got like a little like fritter thing to like hold me over. Man, I'm so sorry, Pensy. That's not good. All right, so let's see. Let's bring this down a bit. Duplicate. We'll do a glow dodge. And we're gonna do some blurring on this so it's not super crazy. Only 20%. Again, I don't want to make her skin too shiny because I want it to, of course, have make sure that it's not like glossy and have it like blend in too much with the freaking like other materials like the hair and the armor and that kind of thing. You want to have like you want to maintain like a contrast. So we're gonna put a little bit of like glow around where, just with an overlay layer across the little highlights here. Just kind of subtle. That's looking good. Oh yeah, it's a really, really good design. Like, you know, there's a lot of good balance between like details and like color placement and stuff. I really like it. All right, let's see if we can find a gradient map that I would like to use for the skin tone here. We're gonna make sure we put it on soft light, and well, first I kind of wanna do the gradient for the for like the lighting, so we'll do that first. Put that on, and I think I'm gonna reduce that opacity there down to like 30, because I want to maintain the fact that, you know, she still has the darker skin, but that'll give it some color variety. And then let me find I have some skin gradient maps that work really well. Just gotta refine them. And of course we're going to adjust the tones as well, so she's not washed out. Oh my god, I really need to go through and relabel these gradient maps. I cannot read what most of these are. And it would save me so much time if I just knew what the hell they were. I know it's one of the ones that I think that has like, oh my goodness. Oh, here it is. Hell yeah, I found it. So let's kind of look through. We're gonna this, and then we're gonna, oh my god. We're going to change this again to soft light. And that one's looking pretty good so far, but I think we can find one that maybe even darker here. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I want to make sure she still has the dark skin, so we can match our character here. Yep, still has the darker skin. And then we're going to play with the tone curve some. I say a lot of things. And then my actions are like I mean, it's also like like I said, I've kind of wanted to get back into my anime style again, so this is good practice for me. I want to make sure that her skin is still dark, but the values still read well. Gotta kind of put it back like this. Oh yeah, yeah. I can not get enough of art. Like, art is my favorite thing ever. Try not to lighten her up too much here. Really. But some of the values are getting a little blown out here, so I'm trying to find it. Like with like tone curve, you really just have to like play with it until you find like the right spots. There we go. I think that's good. And what I might do to bring attention to the face again is I think I might put a little bit more of like an orangey glow over this area. here. Maybe not orangey. Maybe the yellow will look better. A little darker. That's probably good. Let's see, I got all the shadows, except for, I didn't get the shadow for the veil. I do kind of need that. So, because the veil, even though it's like transparent, is still going to have a cast a shadow. So, let's do that real fast. Get like a gray. So the light's coming this way, so it's going to be kind of do this number here. Just gonna fill it in. We're gonna do multiply. And we're gonna blur the edge of this by like 10. And then we're gonna bring down the opacity to like 50. There we go, that works. It would have never guessed, you know, it's not obvious at all that this is like my jam. Who knew? I don't know, it's so weird, like I can't imagine not being like creative, like, you know, going through life just not like seeing things and be like, ooh, I would love to, like, you know, use that or blah blah blah. So, oh damn, I bet. I keep forgetting to ask, what time zone are you in, Pensy? Like, how much of a time difference is there between uh East Coast time and you? Merge all that together. And then we can put it over the lines. I'm gonna have to erase away some of the line areas for this, I think. No, it's gonna be fine. Because when I do the eyes, I can like fix it. Oh, you're also East Coast? I don't know. For some reason, I thought you were in a different time zone. I don't know why. That's my bad. So let's do low dodge. Then we'll do 30. Duplicate. Lighten. Duplicate. Darken. Hell yeah. We're making progress, guys. Yep, sitting up straight, getting some tea actually I have here. And I just saved a second ago, so thank you. Yeah, I'm really liking how this is turning out so far. I'm very happy with it. I think it looks really cool. Alright, so let's do this and that. Now I can do the eyes. I mean, in reality, this is actually still taking like less time than I normally do. So this is cool. I'm making a lot of progress pretty quick here. Well, thanks, guys. You're making me blush here. But yeah, it's a super cool, you know, design. So I had a really good starting point. All right, let's take a look at how you do your eyes here. So you got white in the pupil, so I'll have to emulate that as well. I like to try to keep the characters as true to the base as I can. Alright, so we're going to take this, we're going to hue, shift it a little bit, and we're going to desaturate it a bit. And we kind of want to follow our shadows from before. I need to make this a multiply layer. There we go. Why is this selected? Stop. Stop it. But with this, I like to kind of give them a little bit of a ridge around here. And if I flip it, do it the other way too. We're going to do a little bit around the pupil here. Because, you know, when you're doing anime stuff, you want to focus on the eyes a lot. Actually, there'll be much more, I think, with this. The way the light's going. Oh yeah, eyes are always a ton of fun, especially with anime, because you can just like absolutely go like wild with like the eye designs if you want to. That's why, like, you know, when people make VTuber models, they generally do like a lot of detailing in the eyes. I'll probably have fun with this and do a little bit more than I did with the other layers, so the eyes do stand out. So we're gonna do 20, duplicate, linear burn, and like I said, I kind of want to play around a little bit here, so we're gonna do some other stuff. We're gonna take a little bit of some desaturated orange here. And I'm gonna kind of do this number. and kind of outline the shadow. I think it'll look cool. Oh hell yeah! I'm down for ideas anytime. Trust me, I want things to be more interactive in there. So any suggestions are welcome. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. It'll be like my virtual refrigerator for, or all of our virtual refrigerators for all the art that we've had done of our OCs. Like when I get a permanent place to live, I'm gonna print off like all the fan art. I'm gonna put it on my walls. I already like printing like my own artwork and putting it up on the walls. That way I can just like look at my older work and get inspiration. Be like, oh, I really like this character. I should draw this one again with my updated skill set. Yeah, it's already making it pop. Nice. Hell yeah. That's exciting. Let's go ahead and let's do the gradient, shadow. Whoa, it's huge. Whoa. Let's do. Yeah, I feel bad. I really should have used this style for Jupiter's. But that's okay. There'll be more opportunities, of course, for them to possibly like win again. So But you know, like I'm still like figuring things out too with the way I want to do things. So, oh, well, I mean, you can put in like another OC. I think I want it so people can win like maybe like once a month or so. But I know that I started as a weird point of the month, so I'm not sure. I haven't quite figured that out yet. I'll let you guys know when I do figure it out. I mean, the main thing is I want everybody to have a chance, you know, to be able to get their OC done. 50. Duplicates. Let's do glow dodge. And we'll blur that. Like 50. And we'll bring it down to like 20%. Add glow. Turn that down to like 10. So for this is the lighting, so we'll do overlay again. That. That. Let's make that even more like white. Deselect. We're gonna blur the hell out of this. I think we're gonna get like a 20%. No, that's too much. Let's just do a little bit of a blur. And then we'll bring down to like 20%. Okay, then we'll do glow dodge. Ooh, that's way too much. Let's bring that down to like 5%. And let's put the white part of the iris as well. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. Hell yeah. Let's make this a little bigger since I made it bigger on the other side. I want them to be pretty much the same size. That's better. And do one more thing, and then we'll put a gradient map on it. This. I don't even know if this is gonna show up actually. Maybe I'll show up more over here. Yeah, it will. Put it more around this. And I want it to be insanely intense. Bring it down. There we go. That looks good. Zoom it back out here. Hell yeah. That's looking awesome. Alright, let's find a gradient map that works for it. I wonder if I could put the one that I used. See how this looks on it. Soft light. Yeah, I think that works. Tone curve. I don't know if I need to do too much with the tone here. I think it might even look better a little bit darker. Nice. Reset. Oh, that didn't make that much of a difference. If I brought it like way down there. Oh my god. It's too much. Alright, I think that's good. Oh, maybe that might be a little too dark. Bring it up just a smidge. Alright, I think that's good. Let's merge that together. Duplicate. I don't know if this is overkill or not, but we're gonna find out. Let's put it over the lines here. Oh, I think that looks fine. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Oh, I forgot to do my effects on it. Ha ha ha. There. Duplicate. Duplicate. To color. Turn that way down. There we go. And let's label this. Making progress. I like it. Pretty much got the eyebrows, the fluff, and the veil, and then a little bit of a basic background, and these tails here, and then we're good. So we're doing great. All right, let's put the purple parts in a folder. Yes. All right. Take that, and I'm going to hue shift it a little bit and desaturate. What I'm thinking is these are going to be mostly dark because they're the eyebrows, but there'll be some spots, of course, where the light is hitting it, so we can kind of carve away here. Just in a few spots. Especially since we're doing, like, you know, the whole anime thing where it's like going through the hair. Let's actually use this. Oh no, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see the ooh. I sure hope that Senpai notices me. Ooh. I almost completely forgot about the ooh. My neighbors are probably like, ooh, I don't know what's happening over there. Ooh. Oh, it's okay, Pansy. You know, I didn't even practice before I put that up, so I'm not even sure if I'm doing ooh right. Ooh. It's such a silly thing that I came up with. Aw, thanks. Ooh. Ooh, I'm concentrating so hard on this. Ooh. I sure hope this helps get you some attention to your webcomic, Nempha. Ooh. Thanks for doing it with me, Uwu. I was thinking, Uwu, when I was done with this one, Uwu, I have to see how many entrances that I have, Uwu, because I need to at least have 10, Uwu, just to make it fair, Uwu. Uwu, how much time do I have left, Uwu? It's so silly, Uwu. Nice. I'm much better at like the World Fair voice one. That's like my preference out of the silly voices. But yeah, so I need to have at least, like I said, I need to have at least 10. I need to have at least like 10 entrance things. And what I do is when someone wins, I remove that OC from the wheel spin. That way, I'm also trying to encourage like more people to join this, so like we can get like more variety. All right, let's do our soft shadows. Is this the right brush I'm using here? I think it is. Is it even working? It seems to be making like minimal difference. Why are you being weird? Let's see. Oh, there we go. My pen pressure was just being weird. That's what was happening. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I will actually put up a post when I am done with the stream today. And I'll let you know how many we need to have. I mean, the minimum I would say is 10, but I would like to ideally have more than that. Oh my god, yeah. It's such a disheartening thing to see. It's like such a I hate it. Well, I saw that like SJM and some other people were also having problems with like people taking their artwork with fucking grok and manipulating their artwork to say and do things or like pretty much deface it, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, what is wrong with people? Like these AI bros are fucking pathetic. Like, I fucking hate it. It's like you have all the resources in the world to pick up to learn to do your own artwork, and they just refuse to do it. I'd rather take the lazy route and either use a prompt or just like straight up steal like people's artwork without their permission. I anticipate that's going to happen to me at some point, especially when I start to gain more followers. And hopefully I have a lot of monetary resource by then, so I can start like slapping them with like copyright claims and whatnot. I know that there isn't really any like legislation for it right now, but I'm sure as shit not just gonna sit by and let people do it. They can kiss my ass. Like I always said, I don't mind if somebody uses AI as a tool to get some to make some ideas or to get started, but like when you're actually just calling it straight up your own artwork, when it sure as hell isn't, then yeah, then I have a major problem with it. And if you're just too lazy, like I said, to pick up a pen or a pencil and learn, like go fuck yourself. Like seriously. There's no nice way to put it. There's so many resources at your disposal that you could use, and they just don't. Oh shit, I didn't even know ads were going. Oh well. I'm trying to finish this today. That's my goal. Oops. Pen pressure was starting to freak out there for a sec. And I think I'm gonna put some red, a little bit of like a bounce light from the hair. Since it's so close to the red hair, there would be some colors that would bounce. Just like in the shadow area. Technically, there would also be some from the sky, but you know, we're not like ultra rendering this, so. Man, I love the Mob Psycho music. It's so good. Oh yeah, yeah. It's really bad. I hate it. Well, the worst part about it is like now that I'm a streamer, I get all these like DMs and stuff where they're like, "Oh, like they'll try to start it off like it's a normal conversation, but then it ends up leading into, oh, I could do like overlays or blah 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 or this for you." And I'm like, did you even look at my profile? Like I'm an artist. I can do that myself. And they're like, well, just look at my profile. I'm like, dude, no. I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry, actually. I actually had someone play like a long game scam with me last night where they pretended to be a bigger streamer, and then finally they lifted the mask, and then were like, "Oh, you should do this like channel advocate thing." And I'm like, "Is that something you have to pay for?" And they're like, "Well, you can budget and blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, all right, dude." It's like, and like, even if they were legitimately gonna offer you a service, it would just be AI slop. Like, like the little like waiting screen that I have. Yeah, I know it's AI. I bought it off of eBay. I didn't actually make it, but it's like, you know, my whole platform isn't just like AI stuff, and I definitely plan on like making my own, in the future, like as soon as possible. So, like the be right back screen, I definitely did that. That's all me. But like my starting soon like screen, that's definitely like some AI thing I bought off of eBay. Let's see. This would go over the red. So I'll put it on there. And only one. And like the only reason like I bought that too is because I don't know how to do the like animation stuff yet. Oh, I'm sitting up straight. Taking some water. And let me save. Hell yeah. 30% and okay, lighten, and then duplicate, darken. Oh yeah, we're almost done. We're almost there. So let's see. I need to do these tails next because I had to add those after the fact. Because I almost forgot to do them. I think they're in here. Yeah, here they are. The tails and the gold rings. That's what we got left here. And then the veil, and then I'll do like a really like kind of like basic background. So let's do that, and that, and that. Hard shadows, gradients, and lights. Oops. Grab that, there we go. And let's slight hue shift and slightly desaturate here. Alright, so there definitely be a lot of shadow here from the upper hair. We'll do that. And then we'll have shadow from the face. And also the upper hair here, so do that. And we're going to say there's also some light coming this way too, so let's do this to block that off. And of course this would also block some of it, I think. So we're going to do that. That might not be 100% accurate, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it as if that is correct. Now we can start getting the form. Again, I'm trying to learn to be looser here and kind of let things just flow. Of course, I want this to still have like a rounded feel to it. Yeah, it's like when you get into like multiple light sources, when the shading gets a little wild, little complicated. I think that's what I struggle with when I do like the semi-realism like renders is, trying to think of all the different light sources and things like that. Well, I'm glad you're super happy with it. That makes me happy. That's the goal here. And I know I'm missing out on a gold mine with the non-safe for work, so I gotta get on that for sure. It's just too bad that I can't do it on stream because I did check Twitch's terms of service as far as that goes, and I can't get away with it. But what I could do is I could probably open a Patreon and do it that way. So I need to make a Patreon anyway. Or if I get into VGen, I'll have to see what their policy is on non-safe for work commissions. I mean, I currently would just take non-safe for work commissions just in general because, I'm using my own commission site. So, mom and dad are home. I can do what the hell I want. It just sucks that I can't stream it because I would love to be able to. That would give me more content. Yeah, so their terms of service are is like anything they had to change it also because of AI and uh because people were doing like deep fake stuff with like AI and that kind of thing. The main problem though is that you only get 4 different images to use as your thumbnail, and they are auto generated on your stream. So, if all of those are like boobs and dicks and stuff, like that means that anybody who's just browsing through towards your page and looking at your VODs would just see boobs and dicks on their little preview screen. Yeah. Like it's amusing, it's funny, but it's just like, oh, like really? Like oh, some of the hair got like covered here, I think. Oh, not all of it. Okay. So if I do, like I said, I had to do some like layer magic to make this work. So yeah, they really do. They just need to have an 18 plus. Yeah, I agree. They're missing out on profit there. Oops. What am I doing? Alright, I think I used hard light on the hair, so I want to make sure that I keep that consistent. I don't want the hair to like look different in different spots. That would be weird. Put some on through here. Man, this area looks kind of blah. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's desaturate this. I'm gonna do some yellow, lighter yellow, desaturate a bit, and then here and across here. Yeah, I'm kind of missing out on the light here. I mean, I think you can, but yeah. Well, I can't access Pornhub in my state. Like they made it illegal, which is retarded. I mean, not retarded. Sorry, I did not mean to use that word. It is stupid. I I do not want to use that word. I'm sorry. It's a dumb policy, is what I mean. Oh wait, I forgot to do the hard parts of this. Yeah, it's the state I live in is there's definitely what I like to refer as a hillbilly in charge of it. So you know, not a big fan of people that use like quote unquote Christian values to like suppress people. So it's like, do you know how many people are like gonna like just go insane because they can't like jork it when they need to? Like, think about it. Like, that's how we get the zombie apocalypse. We get like people that are just like way too like over sexually like stimulated with no outlet to use it on, and they just become rage zombies because of that. just, I just imagine like 28 days later, but with like everybody with like pitching a tent like in their bands as they're running. Yeah. Uh, that's just like the funniest like mental image in my head. Horny zombies need to go to horny jail. Oh yeah, I could be doing this number too. I think this needs to be dialed back a bit here. Delete that, and then we'll get rid of that. That will do this. Still looks kind of messy. Let's kind of take away some of this. Trying not to go overboard with the highlight part of this. Yeah. That's what I think too. Oh, that's awesome. I gotta figure out what to do in this area. This area looks bad. Could also fix some of this when I flatten it down and just do some overpainting, I think. Might be the easiest way probably to fix that. Gradient map. Soft light. And let's do our tone curve here. Let me zoom out for this tone curve. Kind of thinking if I make these darker overall, it'll probably help. And then I can bring up some of the, well, Yeah, I'm gonna have to add some light on after the fact with this, I think. And I think with the rest of the hair, I also put another gradient over top of it, and I think I used this. Soft light, and let's do like 50%. Merge. Let's see. Lock this, and I think what I can do, I'm gonna fix some of this here. Just gonna make that. I really didn't do anything to change it, did it? Maybe if I put it over top. Why is this not doing? Oh, it's probably because I think I know what I need to do. I think I know how to fix this. Delete that, and what we're gonna do is duplicate. Do our chromatic aberration, do our lighten, filter, blur, 50%, merge. No, not the whole thing. I'm not done yet. Jeez. This goes over that. And hard light. 50%. Filter blur. 20%. Duplicate. Lighten. And then one more darken. And then I can duplicate this. So we're consistent here. Oh my goodness, that looks, that is so harsh. Hold on, hold up here. Let's do, all right, that's way better. Whew, that scared me for a second there. I was like, I just jump scared myself with that. So let's bring that down even more. There we go. That looks better. And then let's see here. So I need to do these gold rings. So let's take the base color, and then we're gonna make this kind of like brown like we did before, like a darker desaturated brown. And I don't need to do do too terribly much, like as far as detail wise with this, so we can just kind of that's probably good. And we'll do a little bit of some soft shadow.
Sutri observes.
Yeah, after I flatten it, I'm gonna have to. I'll do some overpaint in this area because it's kind of like dulled out right now. That's okay. That shouldn't take very long. Alright, let me get my gold gradient map here. If I can find it, I think it's somewhere around in here. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna tap dance all the way around it. Go over that one. There it is. Oh, why are you? Don't apply to all of it. Just to this. Thank you. And we used pin light. Tone curve. Let's make this lighter. Bring that up a bit. So we'll do that. All right, merge that. And let's duplicate. We can put it over the lines. Hard light, 50%. Blur, 20%. We're gonna finish this, damn it. I'm determined. Although I do have to keep track of time because I do have to pick up Havoc from work. Can't not pick up my wife. She would be quite upset. Hey, Sutri, how's it going? we're doing our best to wrap this this one up here, and it's turning out pretty cool so far. I'm pretty happy with it. So I have not taken a single bathroom break, so I'm gonna do that real fast. I promise I'll be right back, less than 5 minutes. Whew, I feel better. Sorry about that. Alright, so what I'm thinking here is I have this part of like the solid silhouette, so well, it might be a pain in the ass till I cut it out, so that's fine. We'll make it work. I'll just have to put some of like the background color coming through it, which is totally fine. Alright, so we got the veil here. And I'm going to use some screen, and actually what I'll do is I'll take some of this background color here. We're just going to do some soft shadow, I think, for this. I mean, soft lighting. Well, maybe I'll do some. We'll see how it looks if I also do this. Oh yeah, that'll work. Hell yeah. Whoops. Forgot to hit the plus. Oops. It got kind of boxy up at the top there. I don't really want that. I kind of want it to be more like that. I'll have to erase some of this away from some of it that's Not supposed to be coming in the front of the body there, but I can do that in just a sec. Not a biggie. So let's take this, delete that. Well, it might come in front. I don't think it will. Okay. So this part would actually, right here, yeah, I think that would, no, it goes behind these big bangs, so let's cut this out. There we go. It's pretty good. And I kind of want to include a little bit of red from the hair. So we'll just kind of just airbrush that in a little lightly. Whoops. Oh my god, my pen brusher was just like. And some purple actually from here. Oops. This is also going over spots where it's not supposed to. So let's fix that. And I'm going to blur these edges just a bit. 50%. Low dodge. That. There we go. Hell yeah. And we'll do the overlay of the light source. Kind of coming from that side there. A little bit over here. Oops. And then I want to do some orange around the outside here. Nice. Hell yeah. And then we'll do gradient map. Keep it all cohesive. Why is it on the whole thing? Oh. I'm silly. I need to just select the veil. So we can mask it. soft light. And then tone curve. Kind of just lighten it up in general. Maybe bring in some of the shine. Oh yeah, I think that looks good. Will it work if I do that? Maybe overlay looks kind of good. What about hard light? Oh my god, hard light's too much. Yeah, we'll just do it as like an overlay layer. I think that'll work. Thanks. I'm pretty happy with it myself. Maybe we'll do that as like a soft light layer. There we go. No, that's not the purpose. Not at all the purpose. No, hopefully you guys can, see what I'm doing here and like learn from it. And I'm just in a different like place in my art journey than you guys, so remember, I am not young at all. Yeah, my true goal, yep, 100% is to bring you guys up with me, so you are correct. Merge. Oh wait, no, that's not gonna work. Let's do. So when I was super young, my parents actually could draw, so I used to have them draw characters out of. This is gonna age me really bad, but out of my Nintendo game booklets, and they got tired of it eventually, and they were like, "Well, why don't you just draw these yourselves?" So I started with like Mega Man characters out of like the booklets for like the Nintendo games, because I love Mega Man. Mega Man's like one of my favorite games ever, and so yeah, I just kind of went from there, and then yeah, yeah. I mean, I am married to a demon lord, so. Um, but yeah, I've been taking art in since like every year that I could in like from like elementary school on. Um, and then I briefly went to the Art Institute of Washington, but I was like super young and not ready for college like at all. So I didn't learn a whole lot there because I didn't go to class enough, basically. And then I met my wife, and she helped me get my first digital art tablet, and I've just been using like YouTube videos to learn from there. So I'm mostly self-taught, I guess is the best way to describe it. Alright, let's see if we can fix some of these places where the light should be. is not what I need. What about lighten? What about hard lights? That kind of works for what I need. Should actually make this orange to start with and then add some yellows in. Oops. Maybe if I turn it this way, it'll be easier to do. Yeah, I think that'll work out. I don't know if I need those hard ones I just put in there. I want to like over render. Oh crap. I just messed that up. No, no. Why did I do that? Why am I like this? Let's see if we can. Shit. Okay, I'm going to have to redo this. Double damn it. You know, I wonder if I do this a little more controlled, maybe it'll work the way I want it. Like if I kind of have the light kind of like this, and like going across here. I just think it looks kind of dull across here, and I'm trying to fix that, so. Oh, I forgot it's going to go down on those spots. Let's go ahead and carve some of this away because we don't really need it to hit. And this on the chest here, because that's good. We don't need it here. And in there. Sometimes doing like some of the overpainting and stuff like that, like after you're done, is some of like the most difficult stuff to do, because it's like you do actually have to have some like precision. And let's add some light onto these. Okay. Now we should be Gucci. More light in here. And we're going to blur it a little bit around the edges. Well, let me do some of those highlights on the gold like this. makes it look better. Because it needs the harsh highlights, like the strong highlights, because it's metal. There we go. We'll blur this by like 10. Okay, and blow dodge 50%. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Looks like it actually fits now. So that's cool, got that. So go ahead, I'm gonna merge that because I'm feeling pretty confident in this. And then we can do like a real basic background and then we can call it a day. And again, I'm going to go back to my reference here with for Mark Burnett here. So let's do hard shadows and then gradient and lighting. And I do need some clouds too, so we'll do that. And then they're also going to need their own layers. So we'll do shadows. Gradient. And lights. Alright, so we're going to take our this color here and do multiply. And I'm going to hue shift it just a bit to here and down a little bit. And oh yeah, for the sake of composition here, let me turn this back on so I can see my rule of thirds here. So we can kind of have this like follow the points of interest. We're going to have kind of like an abstract sky kind of going on here. We bring attention into the face here. Definitely want some going like that. And I know we really can't see it back there. Nice. Just plugging away here. Glad you guys are back, so welcome back. Alright, got that. So let's do clouds now. Start with kind of like a color like this. And these are of course going to be stylized as well. Right, and we're gonna also get these a bit of a blur. Starting from down here. We're gonna form a little less though than, and I'm just slightly blurred. And let's get our base color. Hue shift that down, and we'll get something darker here. And I guess what I'll do is I'll do like it's, I think the lighting is kind of like a sunset kind of. So we're gonna make it all, oops. That is not what I wanted to do. Go back. This is what I want. Do that, and then we can carve away here. Just kind of do little spots here to kind of make it like around where, like, I guess kind of like the edges and the form would be, kind of like they're backlit. Yeah, no, it's turning out really well so far. I'm very happy with it. Hopefully I can keep this momentum rolling and then we'll finish it up. Oh yeah, yeah, this is Nempha's character. They have a they have a webtoon. I think this character's from their webtoon, so but yeah, I really like this character. It's a very, very cool design. I had a lot of fun messing with it too, which is great. That, and then we'll also blur that. Let's bring it down like we did so we can keep it consistent. And then duplicate. Let's also give it a little bit of a Gaussian blur. And duplicate again. Multiply. Alright, and then take this. I think I'm going to hue shift it a little bit more here. Like that. It's nice and subtle. Now we can do the light. That. And then I can also kind of follow a little bit more in some of the forms here. So it's got kind of like a little bit of an edge to it. Hell yeah. That is the goal. I want you guys to feel confident, to feel inspired. You know, take take what you've like learned from what you've seen from me, and yeah, be successful. Not that I'm like super successful, but you know what? I have fun, so I don't care. One of these days, I'll be super successful. I just gotta keep plugging at. Alright, let's see. Let's also give that. Let's just give it some Gaussian blur. Here, 50%. Duplicate. Glow dodge. blur the hell out of that. And bring that way down. Maybe even more. Take this down to like 5. And that looks pretty good. Now we can do our gradient map. Keep it cohesive here. And I'm going to turn off this rule of thirds, and I'm going to zoom it way out here. Now we're going to mess with our tone curve to make sure that we definitely want the background to be a lot lighter than the foreground. Well, actually, trying to figure out what looks the best here. You know what I should do? Is I should put a black and white one over top in color mode, because this is how you can check your values to make sure that everything is still like reading well. Like if you make it small and you're having trouble like telling what's going on, that's when you want to do some adjustments here. So now that we made it like really small, let's that's probably good for the background. And I might need to do an adjustment for the foreground. Let's see if we... bring it just up slightly here so we can see some of the detail, even when it's nice and small. Fit on screen, there we go. And then we remove that. There we go, that's looking pretty nice. And let's put all the background together here. And duplicate. Chromatic aberration. Duplicate. Lighten. Do this. Hopefully my computer doesn't like completely shit itself while it's doing this. Magnolia Park? Nah, I haven't heard of them. So let's do 30% of that, and let's see if I can actually get what I was trying to do with this Perlin noise earlier. So I want some noise in the background to separate it from the foreground. Not brightness, maybe overlay. Maybe not overlay. What about soft light? Soft light looks pretty good. I gave it some texture. And what I can also do on this is I can put, nope, that's not what I want. Tonal correction, gradient map. I can put this on the actual fuzz there. Nice. Hell yeah, I'll have to check them out. And I'm thinking maybe one more thing that might help it stand out from the background. Hell yeah. Let me check the time here. Oh my god, I gotta go get Havoc here in a minute. So let me. I think that's good. Let me just put my signature on it, and then I think we are done here. I'm gonna save this as a different one in case I wanted to go back and change anything. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Flatten and steal my signature, and then we can wrap this stream up. I'll put it down here in this corner. Maybe not divide, maybe exclusion. Yeah, that'll work. And this is 06. Oops. Damn it. 25. There we go. And let's bring that down so it doesn't take away from the image. Nice. Hey, I'm glad I hit the goal of making it look cool. For sure. All right, let me make sure that's not taking up too much of it. Yep. And flatten. All right, let me save this. And fit the screen. And I will make this nice and big so we can see this when we wrap it up here. And of course, I'll be posting it shortly. And let me get my big old fat head out of here. All right, that is what we came up here. Oh, I will, Pensy, for sure. I hope you enjoyed your character here, Nempha. This is the quality that I will be doing from now on. I will be doing this style for the art raffle. I think I had the most fun with this style. I think it looks really good and gave me a chance to get back to my anime roots here. So let me go ahead and throw you guys in the lobby. Hey, you're very welcome. I want to thank everybody who showed up for stream and hung out with me today. You guys are awesome. If you're just lurking, I appreciate you as well. If you're watching this later on YouTube, thanks a lot. That helps me out so much. I will be putting up the new post for the next raffle submissions sometime later today, so be on the lookout for that. Give me a follow on here to see when I go live. And if you would like to support me, you could always subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm not streaming tomorrow.